the training, we saw these spectrum indicators on each and every page. And the presumption is here is that these spectrum indicators identify where that child can potentially fall within the spectrum. And Angela was wonderful in referencing this earlier. Not every child is going to fall in any kind of specific order on the spectrum. You're not going to see a child here, 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 and here. Or here, 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 and here, or here, 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 and here. What I like to reference, because visually we can all make this connection, is the EEG machine, right? Has anybody ever had that done, where they monitor your heart rate? Or hopefully not, but your brain waves? So those lines go like this, right? That's exactly how this ladder would look too in regards to a child with autism. He or she might have a gifted IQ. They might test higher than all of their academic peers. They might be nonverbal simultaneously, or they might have very little verbal, or they might have echolalia, or they might have delayed echolalia, or they might have intense language. So much language that you at times need to address that they're talking too much. Social interaction. A child could have an intensely gifted IQ, but never want to leave their room. Want to spend all their time on the computer researching dinosaurs. Motor skills. Certainly a child that's gifted and knows everything there is to know about motorcycles can ride a bike. Not always the case. Not always the case at all. And the same goes for behavior, and the same goes for sensory. Our children range within the spectrum of this ladder from severe to gifted and anywhere in between. And it's something we always need to remember. Some of our initial impressions, our first meetings with some of these children, when they're able to give us an intense wealth of knowledge about dinosaurs, might leave us with the impression that this is a brilliant child. And of course he or her can ride a bike. The reality is that she or he may not be able to ride a bike, or may not be able to hold a conversation with you on anything other than dinosaurs. Where would somebody like that fall socially? If somebody had a wealth of knowledge about a particular area, would we say that that individual was socially inclined? If I can only talk to you about one thing and one thing only, am I a social person? No. I'm not. I'm not. I have one single solitary social attribute, and that is that one single solitary content area. Beyond that, I have very little ability to interact socially. So it can be tricky. It can be very tricky, and we need to investigate. We need to be those investigators, those private investigators, and get to know our children before we assume that capabilities lie somewhere where they may not. Make sense?